Alfonso Lopez is a graduate of Vassar College and Tulane University Law School. As the Democratic Caucus House Majority Whip, Alfonso Lopez is proud to boast that he has been a lifelong environmentalist, but may be ashamed to admit that he never actually brought a significant environmental case to court. Since 2013, Alfonso Lopez, a loyal Arlington Democrat, has gladly represented the war-hardened Arlington Democrats in Richmond as their representative. But what has he actually done for you, besides rely on your loyal vote in each election? Major Mike Webb is the godson of the former House Majority Whip in the U.S. Congress, Congressman Bill Gray from Philadelphia. Major Mike Webb is the grandson of a franchise martyr and has two family churches on the National Historic Registry. Major Mike Webb's father was a friend of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., with whom he had shared a childhood spiritual mentor in Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays, the former president of Morehouse College in Atlanta, where his dad is listed as one of the founders for the Morehouse College School of Medicine. Major Mike Webb was the childhood protege of the legendary civil rights and criminal defense attorney Raymond A. Brown, who had represented high-profile defendants, including Reuben Hurricane Carter, former Camden mayor, and New Jersey State Senator Angelo Arricchetti. He also had represented Resorts Casino in their quest to bring gambling to Atlantic City. After graduating from Washington and Lee University, the most competitive private college in the Commonwealth, Major Mike Webb began a career in finance, taking a job as an operations manager at Bankers Trust, a major New York City commercial bank. But after Iraqi tanks rolled into the sovereign nation of Kuwait, Major Mike Webb decided to be all that he could be, enlisting in the U.S. Army Reserves as an infantryman for Operation Desert Shield/Desert Storm, and beginning a military career that would span 2 decades, where he had the opportunity to be placed on assignment with the elite 75th Ranger Regiment, less than 1% of the active duty military, serving as a battalion legal specialist, and from where he was ordered to attend Officer Candidate School for accession into the Military Intelligence Corps, where he began an assignment in Echelon Above Corps Strategic Counterintelligence. First as the aide-de-camp to the commander of all the U.S. Army Strategic Counterintelligence in the continental United States, and before departing active duty, taking on the challenge of being the most junior commissioned officer to have ever served as the operations officer, and during a time in which he was responsible for standing up the operations cell in response to the Oklahoma City and Atlanta Olympics bombings, assist in the capture and prosecution of top spies like the Walker spy ring, Richard Hansen, and Aldrich Ames, and standing up the Armed Forces Medical Intelligence Center, or AFMIC, the precursor to the National Medical Intelligence Center, or INMIC, a NORAD-like capability against emerging public health threats and biological terror. Major Mike Webb knows civil unrest and counterinsurgency since he was a child. His father had served as the state chaplain for the New Jersey National Guard during the riots in Newark, and Major Mike Webb has served in both the New Jersey and Virginia National Guards, where he has been mobilized in support of state emergencies, and even gained a certification while serving in the U.S. Army Reserve as a mobilization officer. Alfonso Lopez may be an attorney, but he has only worked in staff jobs in politics for Tim Kaine and Barack Obama. But when the Alexandria Circuit Court and Eastern District of Virginia decided to roll back civil rights, overturning the provision of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that had been recognized by the Supreme Court in Georgia v. Rachel during the integration of lunch counters in Atlanta, not even the NAACP went to court to fight against it. But Major Mike Webb, without even a law degree or license to practice, fought the battles in court, beginning a new avocation that has given him the accolade of litigation hobbyist by U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. And even President Joe Biden has described Major Mike Webb as passionate. When not even the Federal Employees Union went to bat for federal employees and job applicants, Major Mike Webb fought the battle in courts for 2 years to have a withdrawal policy modified that had been enacted during the longest lack of a quorum in the history as Merit Systems Protection Board, which had attempted to reduce the backlog by fraudulently inducing federal employees and job applicants to forfeit their appeals of right. Major Mike Webb went to court, bringing two cases. When the Arlington Public School Board had attempted to change the name of Washington Lee High School and fought for the voices of minorities. When the Arlington Public School Board decided to form a renaming committee that had decided to exclude their participation in the renaming process to select a new name that was not offensive to minorities. Even the Progressive Voters Guide in Seattle can tell you that Major Mike Webb was against the government response to a current public health crisis, during which, in under a year, he had managed to have docketed a half dozen cases for certiorari at the United States Supreme Court, and currently has actions at the Supreme Court defending the rights of pro se litigants and persons who are attempting to file in federal court without payment of fees. And not even the ACLU is there to fight that fight. Major Mike Webb has taken on an impressive list of high-profile defendants, including Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Lloyd Austin, the Department of the Army, Facebook, Google, Jimmy Kimmel, Ralph Northam, and even historical black churches up and down the eastern seaboard from Harlem to Atlanta on medical-grade facial coverings, lockdowns, and even the reportedly safe and effective vaccines. According to a recent Fox News poll, as many as 62% of Americans say they knew that the novel coronavirus had originated in a laboratory, but only Major Mike Webb, a former biological warfare planner, recognized the moral responsibility of that knowledge and was willing to take that case to court. And even today, Major Mike Webb has filed actions in courts and other legal agencies to hold persons responsible, including Navy Captain Brett Crozier, against whom he has initiated several DoD Inspector General hotline complaints before Captain Crozier's retirement to compel them to convene an Article 32 inquiry to prefer charges in a court-martial, and has presented complaints to law enforcement agencies arising from the infection outbreaks at Cornell University and in Provincetown. In September of last year, Major Mike Webb had a matter certified by the Chief Justice at the State Supreme Court for Virginia to compel a grand jury investigation into the infection and death of Bishop Gerald Glenn, a Pentecostal faith leader who, along with 30 other Pentecostal faith leaders, had been killed by a novel coronavirus before the first Easter pandemic, and now is on his way to the State Supreme Court on that same matter, and, like a drum major for justice, will continue to press on until justice flows like mighty waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. As an independent, Major Mike Webb is decidedly in the minority, but he earned his majority in the U.S. Army, being all that he could be. And what do you want representing you in Richmond? A lover like Alfonso Lopez or a fighter? You look like an intelligent person, and everyone knows that Rangers lead the way. It is far better to be feared than to be loved. Honest. This message was approved by Major Mike Webb.